Hey everyone, welcome to TokiTV. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So just so everyone knows, my internet is being really weird. So if Deb Cruz has to put me in the background, that's because I'm falling off and she'll take over. But thank you for joining us for our Sunday gathering for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut each and every week. Let's do some quick hellos. Let's start with Christina.
Hi guys. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for joining us, all of you beautiful souls on and off the screen. It's wonderful to have you. Thanks.
And Ma.
Hi everyone, great to be here again. I'm looking forward to telling you a few little stories about Toki.
Howard.
Was that my name? You kind of broke up, but hi. Really great.
Yes, you're Howard.
Beautiful folks and everybody out there. This should be a wonderful episode of TokiTV. I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
Thanks. And Deborah, I don't know if I'm pointing in the right way.
You're good.
Okay.
It's so good. So happy to be here to talk about one of my favorite beings in the whole world. TokiTV, we love. Love everybody. It's a good day.
Awesome. And Deb Cruz. And there's talkative Deb Cruz. All right. Let's check in with Stephanie and Casey down there at the bottom. Very flashy, Casey. Very flashy.
Oh, isn't it cool?
Ooh, love it.
Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm looking forward to this. I always love to hear Howard talk about Toki, so this is going to be awesome, and Ma's stories too.
Awesome. Perfect. Alejandro, how's it going?
Happy Sunday to everyone. I'm happy to be here too, so I'm here right now with my Tumblr. We are Toki's Super Pod, so I encourage everyone to get one. We're going to put the website at the end of the show. Enjoy our show today. We got the Professor Howard Garrett bringing stories about Toki, so go ahead. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Let's do
I'm sorry. The boss is Annette. I'm sorry. I don't want to go over
you're
her. I'm so sorry.
Alejandro. Here, you're the boss. Let me put you in the middle. Put you in the middle because you're the boss. There we go.
No. I am not the boss. No.
All right, guys. Let's get ourselves grounded, if you will. So if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to play Shirley Bob's song, Look at Me, because today is all about her. I mean, every week is, but really focusing on her as the individual, who she is. And this song just really, I don't know who that one is, but this song really speaks to me because it's her saying, "Look at me, this is who I am."
Langit Sk'aliCh'elh wanita tia. Langit Sk'aliCh'elh tenaut tia. Nithlens jalangan tia. Nithlens jalangan tia.
All right. If you ever have trouble getting yourself centered, that's one way to quickly do it. Howard and I were talking this week about, what are we going to do on the show today? There's been a lot, you guys, and we'll cover it towards the end. There's been a lot going on. We had we had Gathering of Eagles. We had the stuff from King 5 going on for a full week. We had that episode. We were together last week. We had the vet report come out. There's just been a lot. And with all the positive stuff, of course, comes some of, people naysaying it or asking more questions. And so really looking at who Toki is and the magnificent, beautiful, smart, intelligent, just gorgeous being that she is. And we thought, well, yeah, let's do that. We could talk about that over and over. And so that's what we're going to do today, is just really talking about her intelligence, for one. And I think, her connection, her spirit, all of that stuff just is shows, but her intelligence is one that I think we want to focus on today. And Howard, I'll let you give a little more background before we start showing some clips and just your interactions with her. I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Great. Well, thank you, Annette. It seemed that we needed to show who she is and explain to people that she's in really good shape and very, very interactive, very curious, very engaging. She has an outgoing personality. You could say she's an extrovert. She really wants to meet people and engage and get into their conversations. I mean, people really feel like she is involved in their conversations when they're by the pool talking. And she likes attention for sure, but she really responds to it. I mean, she sometimes plays little games, like she might, sprinkle you with a little bit of water. She might just kind of play hide and seek, kind of dip and come back, stuff like that, just to sort of keep you engaged. And I have here, just to sort of give you another viewpoint, this is the prominent Miami TV journalist Louis Aguirre, who was lucky enough to get poolside and see Toki. And he sent me some notes that really, really lifted my spirits. This was just his spontaneous, description of how she looked. He said she was very flirtatious and very engaged. She swam and followed us along the perimeter of the pool, often watching us as we moved around the habitat, almost as if she knew we were there to tell her story. I think she knows way more than we know she knows. And he said, very strong spirit, despite all she's gone through. What a life force. And then he said, she took my breath away. I hadn't seen her in 5 years. She looks so strong. What a powerful spirit she has. Truly remarkable how she keeps defying all odds and has survived so long. And that is really true. And she deserves due credit for her strength, her inner spirit, I don't know how to describe it or where it comes from or what is the source of her force, but she has a lot of it. She is just bubbling with interest, with curiosity. A lot of people are doubting her, and that is worrisome to me, because that will affect the decisions that are made about what she is capable of and what chances can be taken with her. What are her prospects? A lot of people feel like, they just sort of say things that are not really based on her, but they're assumptions or a general sort of a picture of how whales and dolphins in captivity are affected by captivity. But she doesn't show any of those symptoms. She's not withdrawn. She doesn't sink to the bottom. I mean, she may do that for a little while, just take a little rest, but it's not like a habitual chronic thing that she does all the time. When there's something going on, she's in it. She's involved. She doesn't bang her head on the wall or gnaw on anything. Her teeth are in perfect condition. I mean, it's amazing. 48 sharp conical teeth, just like she is supposed to have. Not all of us can say that. And she doesn't aggress on anybody. She doesn't show any kind of hostility or any bad will. She may, refuse sometimes, to do a routine, but people understand, okay, she's in the mood, but she's okay. And, people understand that. I mean, she has agency. She has control. She has self-determination. She knows where she is, who she is, and she acts accordingly. And most of all, she is a trusting and lovable and engaging person. And I just think she is just fantastic. So I just sort of wanted to set that theme as what we're here to talk about today. So Annette, do we have, or Deb, whoever is at the controls?
I'm back for a minute. I don't know how long.
Okay. Oh, you're on. Yeah, can we play a video or
yeah, let's show
stories? Uh-oh, you froze.
Okay, all right.
Yep,
Let me
you're
try
back.
this. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to play a video really quick, and then we could talk about it.
All right, cool.
Yay. So we were brought in May, and our first visit was out in May, beginning of May, to take a look at her. And so we were just very, just observing the area. We looked at her facility. We looked at her pool. We talked to the trainers that were there. We talked to her veterinarian, sat down and spent about 3 days there going over her blood work, going over her behaviors, going over just her what's a day in life of Toki. We were able to go. Jim and I went by ourselves to the pool just to sit and observe her without the influence of any of her trainers around. So we got some time to spend with her. And I not knowing her history, as far as seeing her, it was the first time I had seen her. And I was actually quite impressed, at least with her level of enthusiasm, her level of curiosity, having seen people that she's never seen before. So I didn't know what to expect. So she was definitely pretty active. She listened, when we got everybody together, we're talking to her caregivers, her husbandry staff. We look at, the pool as we're talking, and she was almost like she was listening to us. She sat right by the wall, like you go up the ramp, and then we are there, and she's right there listening. She was kind of listening to our conversation. And so I kind of walked around, looked at, just the pool itself and from all angles, and she followed me around, and we just kind of stared at each other for a little while. And, I said, hey, I'm from your backyard. So I just, your pod says hi, just, between the two of us. And so it was a nice, it was very encouraging because I was, her teeth were in good shape. I was not expecting, I didn't know what to expect. So I thought, well, maybe she might not, after 50 years in captivity, so I was really surprised. I was happy to see that. So we learned the types of medication.
And that was Stephanie Norman, Dr. Stephanie Norman, veterinarian. She actually works with us, with Orca Network, as our stranding network on-call veterinarian for any marine mammal that washes up anywhere. She's who we call. So I know Stephanie well for many, many years, and she's an absolutely true to her word and reliable person. And that was, a true testament to Toki's engaging personality right there. And not the only one. We'll hear many more, because that's just everybody's impression of her. Is that she is just so tuned in, so responsive to what's going on. What else do we have?
It's cool. I just want to say how cool it is to have, the actual experts who are going in. And yes, you'll hear some people say the animal, because that's how the vets refer. But the actual experts who do this, to be able to comment on how magnificent she is. It's not just the medical report. Everyone who's met and who's had time with her just comments on how amazing she is. And yeah, you do have to maybe be evolved to see them as non-human persons, but they are, and she's just magnificent. I kind of want to hear from some people on the screen who've had some interactions, some heart-to-heart moments with her. Ma, would you mind to share?
No, not at all. I'd love to. Yeah, it was going back at least 10 years ago, and she connected with me. I got this initial force that she needed someone to go and be with her. It was totally different from when I connected with TokiTV. TokiTV was so strong that you couldn't do anything else but do that. And he was also, as we all know, really frustrated and angry. And his spirit was just woo. But with Toki, she was so motherly and gentle, but I knew she needed help. And when I first got to her, the difference between her then and the way she is now that I've seen is just incredible, because she was so small compared to other orcas that I'd seen, even though her tank, no one can sort of deny it, that it was just so small. It was a toilet bowl and no more. It was like a kid's paddling pool for her. But she was so gentle and caring. And as soon as I walked in to see her, she swam straight over to me, even though we'd never met on this physical plane before. She swam straight over to me and allowed me to do some Reiki very quietly, standing by the side of her. And straight away, I picked up on a few areas that seemed to be really hot, and she needed some healing there. So that's what I did, and I was allowed to stand there, luckily at that time, for a good sort of 5 or 10 minutes before the show started. The show started, and I hung about afterwards to see how long I could spend there with it, you know, just a little bit more, obviously, because you don't want to go when you get there. You don't want to leave it. And as soon as the show ended and she got the sprat of a fish for performing well, she came straight over to me and she started swaying backwards and forwards, and then spurted me with water. And in my mind, that was her way of saying thank you. And then she took off round the pool the way she does, not quite as forcefully as we've seen her later on, but to show me that, you know, she was feeling better. And then I decided I was going to do a game of hide and seek with her if I could, for as long as I could while I was there. And I went, there was like boxes. So I thought, right, I'm going to, while she's spinning round, I'm going to go and hide behind the box. And so I hid behind the box and I was peeking my head up over the top of it to see if she was looking for me. And she was spy hopping like this because she knew what I was doing, but she just didn't know where. And then as soon as she spotted me, she come bursting over and just drenched me completely. So that shows you what kind of character she is. You know, at the time she was ill, but she was still so willing to connect and wanted to connect with everyone, and, you know, to sort of to give you that love and affection that you were trying to give her. And that was the very first time that I met her. There was lots of stories after that where I'd walk in and she'd be in the middle of just sort of swimming about, looking at people, and then she'd see me and come bombing it over and drench me again as soon as she seen me. But then it just evolved from there, a true friendship and connection. And the number of times that I've kissed her through the glass, but wanted to go in and kiss her. But, you know, she'd come with her nose and splat it to the glass. And I'd be going, lots of kisses. But she's truly, truly amazing. She likes anybody singing to her. She loves people having fun. She likes people dancing. You know, even though there's no music, singing and dancing to her, she'll join in. She really enjoys it. And she looks at you with that all-knowing eye, you know, with a face turned towards you. And I swear the connection that you get from it, it's like, the only way I can describe it is like, you know, when you've gone to see your favourite band at a music concert and you're standing by those great big amplifiers, that's the connection she gives you. It's like she scans your whole body and knows straight away your whole history. She knows your children. It's like she could see straight through you. And it's absolutely amazing. I've got goosebumps telling you about it because I just miss her so much. But what an amazing, amazing character. And I've connected with lots of animals in the past, and each one of them are different. But Toki is just, her life force is so spectacular and she is so, so strong. She wants to live. And what's more is, I believe she knows she wants to go home and she knows the chance is there.
Thanks, Mom.
Trying not to be emotional about it and, you know, logical, but that's what I experience with Toki.
That's amazing.
Thanks, Ma. Appreciate that.
Yep.
She's so amazing. She's so amazing. Are you guys hearing me okay? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It's so weird. When you guys aren't, it seems like it is, and when you are, it's anyway. Something you said, like she knows what's going on. She's aware, right? She knows what's happening, and we keep saying that. Dr. Reederson, this is 30 seconds from the conference in December. But something he said, I just want to share that, and then we can talk about that a little bit.
But as Jim pointed out, it's an injectable antibiotic. It required her cooperation, and amazingly, she cooperated with us. Every day she received an intravenous injection of times it was 480 cc's. That's half a liter given into a vein over 3 minutes. She accepted it. She knew why we were doing it. There's no question in my mind about that. Okay, she took it and she improved. Okay, we wanted to get her off that. Our plan was to get her on an oral medication, and we've done that.
She knew what we were doing. I have no question in my mind about that.
Yep.
That's quite the testimonial from a veterinarian. I mean, a very long-term veterinarian who, has to maintain medical standards and protocols and everything. And that's kind of, outside the bounds of the usual relationship with the animals is that Toki knew what he was doing. She really understood. And I think that's an indication she understands way more than we can see,
And that's kind of what I was.
Oh, she's gone again.
Uh-oh. You turned into a wax model again.
Back to you then, Howard. I had a great point too. I'll get to it later.
Oh, you're back on.
Just the experts who are having these conversations, who can't help but describe her, who she is, not just a medical marker, not just but something about her, and I understand, there's a lot of evidence about orcas in captivity, but it's not her, because she doesn't exhibit all those behaviors that people do see, and that is prevalent in orcas in captivity. Of course it is. They're in a tank. But yes, for some reason, she has defied all of that, and her teeth are still intact, and she's not doing stereotypies. She's defied it. She's magnificent, and she's hanging on, and we know she's coming home. She's hanging on for that. She knows what they're doing, giving her that, medication. And thank goodness they don't have to do it through the IV anymore, because I'm sure that wasn't fun, but she did it for 3 minutes and she allowed it, and because she knows she's coming home. She knows it's all part of her journey. It's all part of her process. And man, she's being patient. She's being so patient with everyone. Howard, you also sent me a couple of videos. Do you want to intro one and then I'll put it up?
Well, you could do Toki Tuning In, which is just a little clip. People have sent me videos over the years, and this is just a little excerpt from one of them that I don't know who it is that she is paying attention to. It's just a beautiful close-up of her. I don't know, it's like she's meditating or she's interacting. I can't tell for sure, but it's like a portrait. It's like a video portrait of her that I just wanted to play. I think it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Here we go.
Creo que está diciendo
Hola.
¿Ya empezó el show?
Mira, mira.
Wow. Well, is it over or did it just?
All right. So obviously we all feel the same way. I see people shaking their heads and we see the comments. The noise is awful. And thank goodness that she doesn't have that anymore. To me, that is part of her training for going home. Phasing out that entertainment, quote unquote, piece of her life has been for me one of the biggest wins for her in her preparation to go home. But how beautiful to see her. And even with all that racket going on, she's tuned in, she's focused, she's connecting with someone, she's able to like tune that out. Again, just showing how intelligent and magnificent that she is. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. I think Howard looks like he's frozen on my screen. I can't tell if he's frozen for you guys or not. Howard, can you? Yeah, I think he might be. Okay, so Deborah, you've had the opportunity to spend a little time with her back before she retired.
I did. I was so blessed to be able to meet her in this dimension only one time. And one time is all it takes, friends. One time is all it takes. It was after the totem pole in 2018. And I had stood outside the aquarium waiting for it to open with a drum that has a little story behind it, but singing to her and then going into the aquarium. And that last video makes me a little emotional because that's exactly what she does. She comes up to you and she does do this connection thing where she turns sideways and that eye that looks into your soul. And the day that I saw her, she was a little bit sad because everybody had left. So I whispered, "They're going home to fight for you, girl. They're going home. They'll be back. You're going home." And then she started doing this spinning, dancing thing around the tank, and she comes back and she looks up at you again. And then, of course, the show starts and they chase you away. But the only thing I can think of is she knows the people who see her, and that's who she's connecting with when you go into that space. And it's a magic beyond words. It's a magic beyond knowing. And I just wish everyone could see into that beautiful eye and they would know what a miracle she is. And there's not anybody that wouldn't say, this girl deserves a chance to come home. She deserves to come home. That was my, like I said, she's life altering. So.
Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, Deborah. And Howard is connecting back. He's attempting to connect back. This is a weird, it was a full moon yesterday, right? So I don't know. It's messing with technology today for sure. We're going to get through this. Alejandro, what do you want to say so far?
Well, I visit once Lolita's show, TokiTV, but I never went close to her pool, because I was like a kind of undercover because everybody knows me at the Miami Seaquarium. I was one of the most loved people over there, the most loved person from Miami Seaquarium. They want me to kick me out, So I just was sitting in the back, but in those seats that are located close to the roof, in the back. But no, I just figured it out. Lolita, she has a lot of energy. I said, oh my God, she's a warrior. I can understand her passion, her wish, like want to live, want to, she survives many hurricanes and still is there, jumping, doing the job for people entertainment, So I mean, she's an angel. It's unbelievable how we are at this point now that she's almost getting home, and I can feel it. This is gonna happen in a few months. I think, and I feel too, that Lolita is in the tank looking at the trainer and asking, when I'm going, when I'm leaving this tank. I'm just ready. I am ready. Even we have Eduardo Albor just told us when he had interview, he said he's ready to go now. He's ready to go now. So we have everything ready to go. She can go now. Even the trainers, I think it was a girl and a boy who had interview, and they say the same. She's ready to go. So I think this is going to happen in a few months. I can feel it. We don't know exactly because we need to tell the people it's not about our emotions. Everything is about her. Of course, that we want this happen right now, But always I think about her, not about our emotions, selfish emotion. So what can I say? Howard, Ma, everybody get the point. She's an angel. She's a warrior. She's doing an amazing rehabilitation, and she's ready to go. She's ready to go. She's ready to go, and we're gonna be there until she goes, to the sanctuary. We're gonna continue with her, staying with her. We're gonna stay with her, near her.
Absolutely. And like Audrey says, let's be specific. I think I might be falling out again. And
Howard has gone too.
Yeah, he's trying to come back.
Your video is frozen in that, but your voice is coming through just fine.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I hope it froze in a decent position.
Are we sure we are not being hacked today? We are not being hacked. This is weird,
not. And Howard's trying. It's trying. Oh boy. Okay. So let's show that other video, Deborah. Let's do that. They're on the side. I think it's let me see if I can do it. Moments. Here we go.
Where you can find 6 Pacific white-tailed dolphins living, playing, and performing alongside a killer whale. And that's right here at Miami Seaquarium. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would now like to introduce you to the stars of our show. Up first are 2 of our adult female Pacific white-tailed dolphins. These lovely ladies are working on interacting with each other. We are very proud of our successful breeding program with our Pacific white-tailed dolphins, and we have had 2 calves born right here in our park. The youngest is 5 years old, while his older sister is 8. Waving hello to all of you, our baby Lisa and his big sister. And last, but certainly not least, are the 2 Pacific white-tailed dolphins are among the fastest of all marine mammals. They can often be found riding in the valley of ships on the sea, and have even been known to reach speeds of over 25 miles per hour through the water.
Annette disappeared. What's going on here?
There.
Okay.
She's back.
Well, I'm back on my phone, so I can't really see what's happening. So, did Howard fall back off again?
Nope. Oh,
Well, maybe.
yeah.
Okay. Did you guys get through the video?
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And I know he wanted to show that video because it really shows, again, just that interaction, that connection with others that she has that amazing, beautiful ability to do. Her intelligence can't be questioned. It just drives me nuts that people do question that. And I mean, we've heard from trainers. We've heard, I mean, you can go back through all the TokiTVs and everyone talks about how smart she is and how connected she is. She absolutely knows what's going on around her and for her. And I think that's just something we need to stay focused on when we're having these conversations about her, because like Howard mentioned early on, I mean, we know the people, the permitting agencies, all of that, they're going to listen to the experts. No offense to, all of us and others that are not the experts, but people who are naysaying and putting stuff out on social media, it does do harm because you have others who don't know and who aren't aware, who might believe some of the rhetoric that's being placed out there. And so all we can do again is continue to meet every week to bring the experts on the show, to continue to have factual information being shared. It's all about education. It's all about her going home. And I'm super comforted to know that the agencies are going to listen to the experts, and the experts are saying she's ready to go home. And so we'll just keep on that. And, something else that I wanted to point out, because when I was going through some of the videos from the conference to share, I was listening to a lot that was going on, and we've come a long way even since December. I mean, this team that's put together, whether you like them personally or not, or have had past experiences with them or not, they're doing the work. They're doing the real work to get her home. And, just one example of that is I was listening to where they were talking about the medication, how they were doing, sorry, I'm reading the comments on the side, they were doing the IVs, and it took a lot for them to get, they kept talking about how hard they were trying to get her on oral antibiotics over and over and over. And they did that. And they didn't do that because all of a sudden someone's, just magically signed a paper. They searched for that. This team went above and beyond. It wasn't FDA approved, but they got it approved on this basis for her. So they have the connections, they have the people, shout out to Charles Vinnick. He made that happen, and they got her the medication that she needs. And on the latest vet report, how they talk about she's still on the medication because it's working. And a lot of people are like, oh, that means she can't go. No, she's on an oral antibiotic. So she's ready to go. She can have that in a C-pen. And I think it's just really important to say that and to let people know that just because she's being treated doesn't mean it can't occur out there, because she is on oral antibiotics. So just really, really grateful, and just, want to have that opportunity to give that shout out to the team who they have the connections, you guys. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. She's got amazing people on her side. And, just thank goodness they do know what they're doing. Stephanie and Casey, I didn't know if you guys have had any experiences you would want to share today.
No, we've never had the opportunity to meet Toki, but it's horrifying, right, to me to watch her in that setting. Like I said, I think I went to SeaWorld once, like 50 years ago or something, and I was just horrified. So to see our girl doing that and how she's persevered all these years, I mean, wow, she's something.
Yeah. She's amazing. Howard, are you back? No, is Howard frozen?
Yep, he's still frozen.
Oh, bummer. What a bummer. Because if anyone wants to talk about how magnificent she is, I know it's Howard, and he's got lots of stories and information to share. Christina, I haven't heard from you. And Deb Cruz, if you could minimize my other screen that I'm not in.
Well, I've never seen Toki in the physical before, but I've seen her lots of times in my dreams, in my head. And I know that a lot of other people have as well, because she's reached out to a lot of people that have never seen her in the physical. A lot of people that live like not million, but like a long way away overseas. And so, I mean, she is magnificent in every way, because not only can she contact you in the physical, she can also contact you in the I don't want to sound like a lunatic or anything, but I know that I'm not alone, and I know she contacts a lot of people. And I mean, I feel her strength. I feel her everything. She's magnificent and beautiful, and she's so strong. And a lot of people actually, see that in her, and it helps them in their everyday life, because they think, wow, look at her. She's been, in this tiny space, and she's still doing great, and she still finds a way to be happy and, get exercise and do whatever she needs to do to move on. And I think it helps a lot of people just in their everyday life, because she's so amazing. So, she's beautiful. She's strong. She's more than she's just a miracle little orca. Yeah. And I love her so much.
Yeah, she's amazing. And some people are saying in the comments, that they had to get off social media for a little while, give it a break, because of a lot of the negativity and stuff. That's cool. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. You could reach out to us as well. We're all in here to support each other, staying positive on this journey for her. And, she's going home. Like we know that. And like Alejandro says, we don't know the time. She'll tell us when it's the time. We all want it to be in a month or 2 months or tomorrow, but
Or
but the
yesterday.
truth,
No,
but again, the
on
truth is,
September for my birthday. On September for my birthday.
for your birthday. I mean, it would all be wonderful if it works out that way. But the truth is that this team is going to make it happen, and they're going to make it happen in a way that works. I mean, there's sorry, I'm getting messages. I'm out trying to do this on my phone, so I'm trying to manage a bunch of little things popping up. This team is going to make it happen. They know what to do. They know the steps that need to be taken. They're doing the work. Are they sitting here giving us play-by-plays every day? No. Do I wish they would? Absolutely. But they're busy. They're doing the work. And it's okay that they're not telling us every single step, because the people that need to hear it are hearing it. The people that need to see the plans are seeing it. Those conversations are happening. And we just got to have a little faith in the team that's doing it. This is the only team that's going to make it happen. This is the only team that Eduardo Albor is signing with to make this happen. So we got to put a little trust in the team. They do have her best interest at heart. And we just got to keep supporting them, you guys. And again, the best way for me, I feel, to support the process is through education and facts. And, we had Giles on last week. She couldn't be on today because she's doing the Orca Awareness Month kickoff today, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But we have all the experts saying that she's ready to go. The plan is solid. So let's just keep on with that. And any other options that are being put out there are just, they haven't been started. So to me, they're not real. And that's just me. Now it's going to rain. And so I'm going to have to try to go back inside again. This is awesome. It's one of those days. I think someone put in the comments earlier that Toki's trying to communicate through TokiTV and it's getting our wire. So it's going to go how it's going to go because that's how it's supposed to go. We're just going to go with that. Let's see. Casey, I also saw some comments about the products that you're putting out. Thank you so very much for doing that. You've been working really, really hard. Alejandro is definitely supporting this. Do you want to tell folks, just maybe tell folks what you've gotten so far, what's being donated, how the sales are going?
Right now, there's about $1,000 to be donated.
Amazing.
Once I get everything shipped. There's about $1,000 to be donated, and then there's been a couple of orders since we've been on today so far too.
All right.
And she's making them by orders, so that's what takes a little bit longer, guys. It's not like we have a big stock full of t-shirts. So
well, and yeah, I mean, it's not like there's a whole production. This is a couple of people donating their talent. Mainly Casey donating her talent to help in any way possible. So I encourage folks, if you're creative or can think creative, or there's something you can do, something you love to do that can help, reach out to me. We'll get you up. We'll get you on here and just keep, again, I always go back to Addie, whether you're selling lemonade, and donating $200-300 at a time. And that's pretty darn good for a lemonade stand.
Yes.
I never made that in a lemonade stand, but people are doing what they can do to help support her coming home, and I just want to keep encouraging that. I'm echoing. I don't know if I'm echoing for you guys or not.
You are.
No? Okay. Orca Awareness Month. I'm gonna try to Awareness Month.